Okay, so we're going to continue our coverage over Identity Crisis. Now, technically, we already finished the main storyline, but now it's time for us to dive into one of the two epilogues for this event. Now, we're not going to cover both epilogues. We're going to cover the one that comes from Teen Titans. And the reason why, because it's the Teen Titans fighting against Dr. Light, who was a very important character in the earlier parts of the whole entire event. And let me explain why. You see, we had learned a while back that when it came to Dr. Light, he had his mind messed with by a small group of heroes who were part of the Justice League. You see, they had used the powers of Zatanna to mind wipe Dr. Light to turn him into a different kind of character. Still a bad guy, but not as dangerous as he was at first. And the reason why I'm saying that because we had learned early on in this coverage that when it came to Dr. Light, he was able to sneak onto the watchtower. And when he did, he found Sue, didn't he? And he had assaulted her. And they realized how dangerous he truly was. And so to make sure he does not assault any other woman in the world, you had Zatanna use her powers on his mind to change him completely, to make him less dangerous. And so when it came to other heroes outside this group right here, they looked at Dr. Light as a nobody, a D-list villain. But in reality, he was actually very dangerous and should have been a B-list villain. But after a while, for Dr. Light, he was now able to remember everything about him. He now knows that he had his mind wiped. And so because of that, it's now him going after the different heroes who have played with his mind, starting off with Green Arrow. And so when it came to the end of the main storyline, we saw him being able to kidnap Green Arrow. And this leads into this storyline right here, where we pick up with Dr. Light now having Green Arrow as a hostage. Now, for Dr. Light, he does not plan on killing Green Arrow just yet. At first, he wants to go after the Teen Titans for a very special reason. But also, we have to remember that around this time in DC Comics, Green Arrow had a new Speedy, a new sidekick, and that new sidekick was just joining the Teen Titans. And that would be Mia Deardean. Now, Mia Deardean first appeared in Green Arrow Volume 3, Issue number 2. Now, for Mia, she was a young girl at the age of 11 who had ran away from home. And the reason why? Because her father was abusive. Now, she was found by a pimp who gave her shelter. But unfortunately for her, she had to work for that shelter. So in exchange for a new home, she was part of a sex trafficking ring. Now, with that being said, after a while, you didn't have Green Arrow being able to take down that pimp to save her life. Now, for Mia, she wanted to be the next sidekick for Green Arrow, but he said no. Now, for Mia, luckily for her, she began to train herself, but she was also trained by Connor Hawke, the son of Green Arrow Oliver Queen. And so after a while, you had Green Arrow realize that maybe she'll be a great Speedy. And so he took her in. But now he said, you know what? I feel like it's best for you to work alongside other heroes who are just like you, young heroes who are trying to be great in this world, the Teen Titans. And so, of course, he sent her over there to become another Teen Titan. Now, when she does arrive at the home of the Teen Titans, she kind of realized that the Titans are fighting against Cyborg. Now, we can already tell that this was a training session going on, but for young Mia here, she had no idea what was happening. She believed that Cyborg's going crazy right now, and the Teen Titans are trying to bring him down. And so you have each member of the Titan trying their best to bring down Cyborg, but they are completely failing. Now, at the very last second, you didn't have Mia step in and use an arrow to bring down Cyborg by freezing him in place. Now, once she does that, you didn't have the rest of the Teen Titans tell her like, hey, listen, we were training here. He was not going crazy at all. So, thanks for the help, I guess, but the next time you should probably ask before you jump in the middle of a battle like that, because you could be completely wrong like you are right now. And so once you have Cyborg being able to unfreeze himself, you then have Cyborg begin to show Mia around Titan Tower. Now, for Mia, she kind of feels like she's not going to fit in with the rest of the team. But for Cyborg, it's more of all like, no, I feel like you're going to fit right in with the rest of the team. And the reason why he is saying that because he began to show her different pictures of different versions of the team. The first team, the second team, and the current team right now. But the reason why he's doing all of that for is because he wants her to understand that no matter what, you're going to fit right in because we had so many different kinds of people who were part of the Teen Titans. But the thing was, we were all different. We all had the same goal to protect the world, but also show the older heroes we don't need their help. We can do things on our own. And so for Cyborg, it's kind of like, no, you're going to fit right in with the rest of the team. Now, you do have Cyborg show Mia to her room and also give her a gift. Now, the gift came from Roy Harper, who was the first Speedy, but now he's a name called Arsenal. But then you have Kid Flash run into the room. And the reason why? Because something big is happening. And we kind of find out with Dr. Light being able to grab Green Arrow earlier, he went on live television saying, listen, I have Green Arrow as a hostage. If you want him back, send in the Teen Titans and only the Teen Titans. Now, you do have other teams chime in and say, hey, listen, guys, if you need our help, we can help out when it comes to Dr. Light. Like, for example, you have the Outsiders saying, we're ready to go. Now, for Mia, she tells them no. And the reason why? Because Dr. Light asked for only the Teen Titans, and that's really it. Now, for Starfire, who is part of the Teen Titans, but for the time being, she's with the Outsiders, she does have a game plan. Unfortunately, we don't learn that game plan until later on in this video. But for Starfire, she's kind of like, listen, I got a game plan, and it could help us at the very end. Now, you also have Wally West chime in. Now, for Wally, he was part of the original Teen Titans when he was Kid Flash. But now he's just the Flash. But he knows the big secret about Dr. Light. He now knows that Dr. Light remembers. He now knows how dangerous Dr. Light truly is. Now, with all that being said, you do have the Teen Titans leave to go confront Dr. Light. But you have Wally say, you guys need to be careful. But he does not tell them exactly why they need to be careful. But while you had the young heroes on their way over to go confront Dr. Light, you did have the young heroes begin to have that conversation with one another about the whole idea of the possibility that Dr. Light is now dangerous. Like, what happened to him? How did he change? Because to our young heroes, all they know that Dr. Light was always a joke. But now it's kind of like, no, we can no longer treat him like a joke. He's now a very dangerous man. But for our heroes, they want to know why. Now for Robin, he heard the rumors about the whole idea that a small group of heroes had altered the mind of Dr. Light. And so you have Robin tell both Wonder Girl and the rest of the team, like, this is what I heard. Now, after doing that, you have everyone wondering, like, is it true or is it false? And so getting into the end of the first chapter, you have the Teen Titans arrive at the place where Dr. Light is at. Now again, our heroes are walking in still kind of thinking like he is still a joke of a character. This should be an easy battle. But once they do get inside, there's a huge flash of light, a huge flash of energy, sending our heroes flying back. And this leads into the second chapter, where we see Dr. Light being able to take down the entire Teen Titans team. And so as we get into the second chapter, it's our heroes finding out how dangerous Dr. Light truly is. Because again, they thought at first that this man was a nobody. But now they're going to find out that's not true. Because Dr. Light has the ability to control any kind of light around him. That even means other people's powers as well. Like, for example, Superboy and his heat vision. It has a form of light in there. That you have Dr. Light being able to grab that heat vision and use it for his own. And then same thing goes for Wonder Girl's lasso. There's light in there as well. And so he was able to not be affected by her attack. And so for Dr. Light, the Teen Titans are now realizing that this man is completely dangerous. There's almost nothing they can do at all against him. But now we have to jump over to Batman and also Batgirl. Now they're currently watching what's happening right now on the TV. Like the news is saying like the Teen Titans had officially lost to Dr. Light. The battle has completely stopped. Now for Batman and Batgirl, they do tell us that Starfire's plan has gone into motion. But they said this right here. When they are done with Dr. Light, they are going to want him. Now, that line right there may seem like, okay, it's the Teen Titans wanting Dr. Light, but that's not technically true. And the meaning of that line will come at the very end of this storyline. But now I want to jump back over to Dr. Light. Here's the reason why, okay? So for Dr. Light, the reason why he wanted Teen Titans there was to plant in their mind of the possibility that the Justice League had also altered their mind as well. Now for Dr. Light, he knows that it was just a small group of heroes who had altered his mind. But now it's him trying to plant the seeds in the minds of the Teen Titans, especially right now in front of Mia. Because now he's saying this right here. He's saying, what if these young heroes got out of line? What if they did? Did you also alter their mind as well to get them back in line? Again, planting those seeds in their minds. Now for Oliver, he's trying to say no. But the question is right now, is there a possibility if that is true? But then on top of that, you're also talking about the idea of going against the moral code. Because for the Teen Titans, they're kind of like, well, at the end of this video, they're going to be like, I can't believe the older heroes actually altered the mind of Dr. Light and possibly other heroes around the world. Again, bringing in those seeds in the mind of the young heroes to turn against their mentors. But then you have Hawk and Dove appear. Now, this is the new Hawk around this time in Marvel Comics, and I'm not going to sit down and try to explain who she is. All you need to know is that she is the sister to Dove. Now, with that being said, their main goal is to get Dr. Light away from Green Arrow, but to also get him back outside. And so you do have the two young heroes begin the fight against Dr. Light. Now, for Dr. Light, he was able to easily bring down Hawk and Dove. And honestly, I'm sorry, they should be easy to take down because it's just Hawk and Dove. But either way, once you do have the two young heroes being able to get Dr. Light outside, he's then confronted by the rest of the Teen Titans. Really, all of the Teen Titans. Every single person that was a Teen Titan in the past or currently a Teen Titan has come together. You have an army of young heroes going up against Dr. Light as we go into the third and final chapter. And so as we dive into the final chapter, it's all the Teen Titans fighting against Dr. Light. Now, I really kind of like this a lot because it's the book kind of showing how powerful Dr. Light could truly be if he knew everything about his powers and if he took everything seriously. And so right now, all the Teen Titans in the past and the present are just getting their butt whooped. Like, yes, they are able to get some few licks in, but it's Dr. Light, one man, going up against an entire army of young heroes and still being able to take them all down. Now, at the end of this section, you did have our young heroes realize that it's getting dark in the room because he's now absorbing all the light around him. And once able to do that, he's then able to release a huge blast of energy to send everyone flying away. And so just like that, Dr. Light took down the entire past and present at this point in time of the Teen Titans. Now you do have Dr. Light return his attention onto Green Arrow. He wants to make Green Arrow pay for what he has done to him. And so you have Dr. Light walk back over there. But he sees Mia, Speedy, trying to get Green Arrow and her the heck out of there. But for Dr. Light, it's kind of like, nah, y'all not going anywhere at all. Y'all gonna die here and now. But then at the very last second, you have Cyborg just come in and send Dr. Light flying away. Now for Cyborg, he was able to easily take down Dr. Light in a matter of like a few pages, because he did bring up some defenses that are able to take on the attacks of Dr. Light. Now you do have Dr. Light trying to get in the head of Victor Stone by being all like, you're more cyborg than man now. You no longer have a kidney there. But for Cyborg, it's the whole idea that Dr. Light attacked his family. And his family is the Teen Titans. But either way, you have Cyborg take down Dr. Light just like that. Now, for our young heroes, they're kind of wondering what to do with Dr. Light. But then you have Batman and Batgirl arrive. Now, when they arrive, they barely speak to the other heroes. They come in, they grab Dr. Light, and they leave just like that. Now, remember, Batman and Batgirl are going to be very important at the end of this video. But before we can talk about that moment, you have Victor Stone go over to talk to Oliver Queen, Green Arrow, to get confirmation of the whole idea of, was it true what they did to Dr. Light? Now for Oliver, he's kind of like, why in the world does it matter if it's true or not? But for Victor, it's kind of like, you don't understand. You put these kids in danger. Some kids could have possibly died today because of your mistake. Now, before you have Victor being able to continue on, you have Mia walk over to hug her mentor, Green Arrow. But once you have the Teen Titans being able to get back home to Titan Tower, it leads into basically Speedy telling the rest of the team one of her biggest secrets, or really her biggest secret, the whole idea that she had tested positive for HIV because, well, she was part of that sex trafficking ring thanks to that pimp right there. And so it's her trying to say like, I trust you guys, but I also feel like I'll fit in perfectly with you guys. You have the team kind of like be there for her because that took a lot of courage to actually announce the fact that she's HIV positive. But either way, it's kind of like the Teen Titans fully bring her into the team. Now, like I said a moment ago, that when it comes to Batman and Batgirl, they were going to be very important. Well, here is that moment, because as the book closes, we do see that it was actually Deathstroke and his daughter Rose pretending to be Batman and Batgirl so that they could grab Dr. Light, because apparently Dr. Light is being brought in with a whole new group of villains. And this is where we're going to end today's comic book video. So please leave me a like down below and also subscribe. Also, if you have any suggestions on books I should read, well, please let me know in the comments below, because you never know, your suggestion could be a future video down the road. But guys, see y'all next time. Later.